Welcome to Sarbakal TV YouTube channel. My name is Vini, and I'll be your host for this segment. I have the absolute honor and pleasure of introducing to you a dynamic Bharatanatyam duo, Renjith Babu and Vijna Vasudevan. Welcome to Calgary.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
a wonderful city. In fact, I look at you, Renjith, affectionately known as Renjith and Vijna on your YouTube, so I'm just going to call you by your first names.
Yes.
Welcome back, actually.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back because you were here in 2003.
2003, yes.
And you were here as a part of a large group from Uma Ganeshan and Cleveland Cultural. That whole production was called Silapadikaram. And it's now 20 years at least since. And you found this beautiful young lady to be your partner after that. So we'll talk about your entire progress in life.
Yeah.
But you have a show tomorrow night at the Ragmala Music at the University Theatre as a part of that. But before we get to that, you both are Bharatanatyam dancers. Your webpage starts out saying you are the most sought out couple in India. Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
am very proud of that. When I saw that, I said, wow, I remember you from 2003, and here you are. So we'll talk about your progress in life, how you came from there to here. But before that, tell us more. Bharatanatyam is a dance genre in India that goes back to centuries. It's arguably, we may say this is probably the oldest form of classical dance. Some would say it could be Kathak, some could be Bharatanatyam. What are your thoughts about Bharatanatyam as a dance genre in India? There's others too. We'll kind of discuss all of them.
So Bharatanatyam is one of the Indian classical dance styles,
Agree.
and there are various others like Kathakali, Mohiniyattam from Kerala, Kuchipudi from Andhra,
Yes.
Odissi from Orissa,
Yes.
and
Kathak.
this Kathak from the north,
From north.
and then
There
there
is
is
Yakshagana,
from
and
Karnataka,
there is
Satriya
even
from
Satriya dance,
Assam.
and Chow.
Yeah, so there are a lot of these
So many.
Correct.
classical forms, but I think these different styles actually came about much later. It was only after the independence that you had these
Really?
differentiations
So that's
that
only
came
like
in. I think earlier it functioned as like just natyam or dance, like one umbrella, and the way the different styles were perceived was different, right?
So would you then say Bharatanatyam? I was reading about it and saying this probably dates back to 300, 400 years. Would you
more than that?
More than that?
More than
yes.
that, definitely. I mean, but the Bharatanatyam that we see now is relatively new.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
because
there are a lot of changes, anything changed, everything changes. The process is like.
Right.
I mean the aesthetics changed,
Changes. The way you
the way we perform, the technique, all of that has undergone change.
See, it's coming
So-
from temple dance to a
Right.
performing auditorium.
Yeah.
So it is
Yeah.
very different form altogether now,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the way you present is very different.
Yeah.
What other genres in the Indian classical dance form was about the same time? Would Kathak be around that time too, about 300 years ago or so, or would that be?
I mean, we're not so aware of the Kathak history, but yes, it does have like
It's
a long.
It's all old.
Yeah, a long
it's
history.
an old history.
So,
And,
so back to Bharatanatyam. These are two Sanskrit words, Bharata and Natyam. Natyam, of course, as you said, is a dance form. Bharata, you can take each of those syllables, bhava, which is bhava.
Bhava,
and the
raga,
ra
tala. I
meaning
mean, that
raga,
is one way of
so.
interpreting it.
Right.
Some of them also say the natyam or the dance that belonged to the land of Bharata Varsha or Bharata. That's also another way
Okay.
that they say it.
And actually, this form called satir.
Sadir, that's what it was
Satir.
called. Sadir.
And then only, at the later stage only, we gave a name of Bharatanatyam.
I see.
Yeah, yeah.
So even the Kathakali from Kerala that you mentioned, is that not as old as Bharatanatyam?
The Kathakali, I think, Kathakali came from the art form called Krishnanatam, and all those, and part of Kodiyatam. It's a Vellathol Narayana Menon. He only
Right.
designed it.
designed this entire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's also borrowed a lot from the existing art forms and theatre forms.
It's actually theatre.
It's
form.
actually a
It's a
theatre
theater
art
form. I
form.
see. So
So Kudyatam is theatre form. The very old theatre, Sanskrit theatre is Kudyatam.
I see. So going back to Bharatanatyam, it always has a spiritual story of some sort that you have to lean back to, isn't it? Or does
Yeah.
it not have to?
No, no. The thing is that it does because of the theme that we have always worked with, and also because of the foundation of Hindu
Yeah.
philosophy.
Right.
Because of that. But right now we also have artists in the recent years where we are exploring different other themes and aspects
Okay.
using this medium. So
Okay.
yeah.
So the popularity of Bharatanatyam, as you're also teachers, that's what I saw in your bio. So in your schools that you hold, is it still popular? Is it you still have a lot of young ones, boys or girls, wanting to join?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Of
that's-
course, that
that's-
is there.
that's
That
there.
is there.
And the other question, I'm going to ask you this. I mentioned boys and girls. Girls, slam dunk, no problem. There's always girls wanting to join Bharatanatyam or any dance forms, even ballet for that matter. Boys, it's impossible to get them to come out and be a part of the dance school and learn this sort of it. You being a male dancer, what's the message to the young men to say, hey, this is a lot more than simply it's
Yeah,
an
but-
exercise, it's work, you get everything in body. We were talking about it earlier because there's a lot of yoga in this. There's a lot of mind and control of all of that. You learn a lot more than simply moving your body around. Am I correct in this assessment?
Yeah, but I think because of society's pressure also, that culture is not developed much, I guess.
Among
Because
the
man
boys.
is dancing, why man is dancing, all those questions are very
Oh,
difficult
I
to
see.
answer.
Right.
Yeah. But it is not that man cannot dance.
Of
But
course they
we
can, yeah.
never, even for me, when I took this as a profession, people ask, what are you doing? I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer. Oh, that okay. But what are you doing? So it's a very difficult question to answer. So always that pressure is there.
Correct.
Always for on man, maybe taking care of the entire family and maybe the pressure of earning and living, all those things. Maybe that also might be one reason, maybe. The another reason, most of the people are little fear about that. Maybe they get little of feminine touch in
Oh,
their.
okay.
That also one fear I often heard. I don't know. I often heard that. But other than that, I think it's mostly we don't have much education in the society, because if you see Kathakali or other art form, a lot of men do that.
Yeah, in Kathakali, I know that
even
there's a lot of...
Yakshagana or
Even Kuchipudi.
Kuchipudi or this
Really?
one Bhagavata Mela, all those, even female role
Is done by
done
men.
by men. So
Yes.
the society is there, but in Bharatanatyam, I don't know why men dancers, because in earlier, the men actually teaching, they are called Natwanar.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Men were the teachers.
Teachers. Female.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that's a good explanation. But there's got to be a positive message for the young men to say,
Yeah,
hey, this
nowadays
is a,
so many
yes,
young men are coming. So many
Good,
dancers
so
are
name-
there. If
name-
you
that's-
name it,
that's
lot of
fantastic.
young dancers are coming.
Yeah.
That's great.
A lot.
Yeah, I think because this whole stigma, a lot of stigma that has been there, or
Attached.
preconceived notions that were attached to men taking up dance, is slowly wearing down.
But there are
Oh,
so
that's
many
so
men. If you see
good.
now, if you see a lot of people are coming.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's awesome.
And also, I mean, I feel art has no gender,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's just a female body and a male body that's dancing.
But there is a difference in the male body, if you want to call it that, the way the dance is performed on stage, the power, the grace, different from a...
That is anything, anything if you take, a
Yeah.
male body is male body, female body is female body.
Uh-huh.
So
Yes.
if you only consider as a body, both
Yes.
bodies are different. Even if you take each bodies are different. if
within
you-
them.
in that line if you take.
within,
Within-
yeah,
within that.
within female
But
and male.
It is all about the grace. Even the grace also very subjective,
I see.
I feel. Because,
Well,
yeah.
thanks. I want to then switch subjects here and go back to your journey. You're a fascinating career. I mean, I'm really thoroughly impressed by it. When we saw you back in 2003, I remember back then you had just been a fresh graduate, kind of not a fresh graduate, just come from Kalakshetra. Kalakshetra from Chennai. Anybody that graduates from that dance school, in my humble opinion, is like getting nuclear physics degree from Princeton. Like if somebody says, meaning that means this is like you have reached the pinnacle of any dance school to get the blessing saying you're now a qualified dancer. But from then on, you just didn't jump into dancing. You did further training from Guru Chandrasekhar sir and then Dhananjay sir and all that. What happened after you finished Kalakshetra? Where did you go? What year was it? Let's start from there.
So I started in '96. Actually, I am coming to dance. It's no, I don't know how to put it in word, but it's not. I wished I want to be a dancer.
Okay.
So it's so happened. My teacher. I loved my teacher more than my dance. Still I admire.
And who is the teacher you're referring
my
to?
teacher name is Prasanna Prakash from
in Calicut, Kerala.
Okay.
And I don't know. There's some kind of bond with her. She always some care, and she always gave me that inspiration to dance. But
Wow.
if I was talking to her today, this question comes, what I do? How do I answer this? Because I don't name it I love my dance and I came. No, nothing like that. I came, then she asked me to go to Kalakshetra. Then she only, I think, filled the form and sent it.
Application
and
form.
it was late.
Wow.
The
your application
was late.
Was it?
Yeah. Then somehow they called, because boys are applying less, so they called me.
Okay.
Then I
That
went.
makes sense. Okay.
I went there, I got it. Then I wasn't very happy because in 16 years I don't know what I'm doing, whether it is correct or not, I don't know. There are so many good people around me that made me stay there.
So from there, from when you graduated, that was 1999 or so?
No, I passed out 2000.
And then you just didn't jump right into a professional dance
I was
group,
doing
did you?
small programs for living because it's our profession, so small
Right,
jobs
right.
you can call. Like,
But then you went through another training period,
yeah,
didn't you?
because I felt even learning 4 years, I don't think so. You learned, maybe you learned a lot from Kalakshetra. Now you need to understand how to.
How to nurture
okay,
it further.
So you have the
For
tools,
the
but you don't know
training,
how to
you need to
perfect
tune
these.
it, that entire thing,
Exactly.
because
Okay.
basically I am coming. I don't know know
Fascinating.
anything about music or everything. I learned new.
Right.
So from my teacher I learned quite a bit of about Bharatanatyam. Okay, this is a good form. That's all. Then I came here. I don't have much style change because she's also following the same style. Then in Kalakshetra, too many things, so it was too full for me. Then after Kalakshetra, when I came to CV Chandrasekhar sir, everything it was understanding. Okay, again relearning and
So it started
making
to make
me
sense of
stronger.
what you
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
Okay.
That's very important. I think after Kalakshetra, it's good to go and get a guidance how you go and
Get tuned up.
practice.
True.
If
Because
you do a law,
Kalakshetra
you want
is also
practice
like a
with the
university.
you practice with the
Sure, sure. And what that must have been 2002 or 3-ish or something like that.
no.
or
I
was it-
2000 I joined and I
Soon
was
after graduation,
graduation.
we
I
went to
see.
serve.
I finished in May and April. And then I joined immediately. I went.
Right. And so this young lady know a little bit about your background. So you're an expat in Muscat, Oman,
Yeah.
or
I was
in
in
that
Muscat.
area, and with your dad was there. He was working. I think you told me this. Did you start learning to dance over there
Yes.
in Oman?
In Oman, yeah.
So there was a Bharatanatyam.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So I was born in Calicut. I went as a 7-month-old to Oman.
Oman.
And my first dance teacher, Sujata Chandra Mohan, she's a senior disciple of Adyar K. Lakshman sir.
Okay.
And went and joined her, and then
She was in.
she was in Muscat. Yes,
She was running a dance school.
she was running a dance class.
Fantastic.
And everything.
Okay.
And then in '96, she was migrating to the US, and
Oh.
she wanted to finish my Arangetram before she migrated. So that's how, it happened. And then she told my parents that if you want her to pursue dance a little more seriously, or if you're serious about where her journey is going in with Bharatanatyam, then you have to move to Chennai. Because in Muscat there were teachers, but she said, I think if she needs to do something further, she has to go to Chennai.
And hang on, so this time, what about your brothers? They were in Muscat as well?
Yeah. So my oldest brother had joined for college in Manipal.
Oh, he'd already gone. Okay.
Yeah. And my older brother was going to 11th grade.
Okay, so
my second
you're
brother,
essentially the only one left in the high school age.
Yes.
So your
I
dad had
was in
to-
primary school. I just finished 4th
But
grade.
no, you said your teacher said they were going to do your Arangetram.
Yeah,
and
so
all
I
that.
was 9-year-old when I did my Arangetram.
No way.
Yeah. I think she's
9 years
9
old?
years old. Yeah. I was finishing 9 and going on to my 10. And then
Wow.
she's the one who went and put me at Dhananjay Sir's school
In Chennai.
in Chennai.
Now there's a connection there. He was there too, right?
Yeah, he also came in 96. I also came in 96. A
Angana,
lot of
so
points
that's
which
where-
coincide.
Okay, so that must be the
coincide.
place where.
Yeah, but we don't know that.
But we didn't know each other
No,
at
of
that
course
time.
Not, no.
Yeah.
Of course not. Okay.
And so my father stayed back.
Where?
And,
In
Muscat, yeah.
Okay. So
And
who did you stay with then? In
myself, my mom, and my second brother. We 3 moved to Chennai.
Chennai? And he was by himself essentially.
Yeah. He was like, I think
Okay.
you should go explore. He was like that, my
And
father.
this is a 9-year-old
Yeah.
takes a shot at going to Chennai,
Yeah.
and you.
And at that point of time for me, I mean, I didn't really think that I wanted to be like a full-time dancer or famous, nothing. But it's just
Wow.
that my teachers told my parents, I think she should go. And my father was like, okay, if the teachers say, let's give it a try, let's
Amazing.
go. And that's how we went.
Wow.
And also because Chennai was never our native. So we had no
No.
family. We
Yeah,
didn't know the
because
language.
You're from Calicut.
We're from
essentially.
Calicut,
Yeah,
Kerala. And yeah, that was an experience.
Must have
The
been.
first 3 years, living in Chennai, not knowing the language, going to school there. Yeah.
So I got a hats off to your dad.
Of course.
Letting. If I had a 9-year-old daughter that said, "Dad, I'll see you later. I'm going to Chennai," either the daughter has to be extremely naughty or extremely smart. So I don't know. You have to, to say, "Go ahead and go." My God,
Yeah.
this is like quite a. And that to the only daughter. I'm telling you, I have a lot of respect for that man. He's quite amazing.
Yeah,
He's-
yeah.
he's-
He
Yeah,
is.
he's-
I think both my parents, I don't know what they thought. And not that I
think
was just...
If I say best way, they didn't think anything.
Yeah. They just trusted my teacher.
Yeah.
I think somewhere they just believed in her
Process.
and they're like, yeah.
So you are now 9-10 years old. Then you must have met him when you were into your teens, obviously, right?
No,
Or-
I
no?
met him in 2007. Yeah, we met in 2007.
Okay, and this
Seven-
is after your.
Actually, 7 and December.
Yeah, end of 2007 is when we met.
And how did that happen?
We worked in a dance production together.
Oh, it was nothing to do with the teachers by then. The Nanja
No,
sir is
no, no,
gone
no,
and
no, no,
Chandrasekhar
no, no.
sir is
Yeah,
gone.
yeah,
You've
yeah,
done
yeah.
all of that. Okay.
Yeah. So this was when so I was still training with Dhananjay sir at that time.
I see.
And
Even
then,
I'm also trying with C.
Yeah, he was with CVC sir, and then he was freelancing as well with a lot of other artists. And then we happened to be in a production together, and that's how we met. And yeah,
Okay, so 2007.
7 is when we met, and yeah,
And then you got married in
2011.
4 years after that. So okay. And then you decided to break out and be on your own since the last 10 years or less than
12
that?
years. So
12
we've been
years.
dancing together for 12 years.
As
As a
Renjith
couple,
Vijna.
as Renjith Vijna. Yes. yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I mean your background is this is fabulous. It's really I'm very like in awe with all your background, what you have done. Now I know you being by yourself in Chennai as a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
spectacular.
So, but then after that, we went back to Muscat as well after 3 years, and then I came back again for university in 2004.
Hang on. So you went to university to?
No, so I finished 3 years of schooling in Chennai.
Yes.
Went back to Muscat to again do schooling from 8th to the 12th
Oh,
there.
okay. And at
Yeah.
that time, were you?
So my mother decided that we are not going to enroll with any other teacher when we go back to Muscat because she didn't want like changing
Changes
teachers
in
and all of that.
yeah.
So then every summer vacation,
Oh, you would
we
go back to Chennai.
So
then?
that time we had like she would get all my classes recorded in audio cassette. That's my teacher every day.
So you would play to that.
Yeah.
Then
I would-
who would be teaching you all your dance?
Nothing. No. I just practice.
That's it. You practice.
Yeah. I practice, and then I think my mother did like from all those many years of dancing. I mean, sometimes she would sit and watch, but then during that time, I did take up some classes in Mohiniyattam
Oh,
and
okay.
Odissi with some teachers in Muscat.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. But Bharatanatyam was my focus. Yeah.
Can I ask a dumb question? When you were with your tape music that you did, like you said, and you're in Chennai by yourself, every summer you were going back, and this
Yeah.
is from the age of, let's say, 10 to 16, right? 10 to 15.
Yeah,
you know.
13 to
Okay,
16
thir-
is when I went every summer then.
How many hours in the day would you practice in front of the mirror, I'm guessing?
No mirror.
No.
No mirror.
No
That
mirror.
is I think that is a very bad habit of practicing in front
Yeah.
of mirror.
I mean, we don't practice in front of the mirror back home also.
So you don't have awareness. You just see the mirror practice. Why you the small concept that you look at the mirror just to check your face or just do some makeup. But internalizing something, you don't look at the mirror to internalize your face.
Mm.
Just to make sure that I'm okay, I'm looking good.
Mm.
But maybe you can do some position and you watch that, and you need to turn around and just get the feel of that. That's only you bring in a clarity when you do, because there's nothing to make sure when you dance.
Right.
Make sure only you.
So in today's age, with the COVID and everything that's going on, a lot of people are taking lessons from, video Zooms and whatever they call them now. Plus they're also dancing to exactly the way you're doing it. What is your message to them how to practice with no teacher around them on their own in their house, in the basement or living room or whatever? What's the shraddha or the abhyasa that you have to do? What level of practice?
I think what you said, Shraddha, that is very,
It
very
is
crucial.
making a promise or taking very important to take a promise or serious what you're doing or giving 100% what you're doing, because from online you can't see that the artist completely or a student completely teach. So if that person also commit 100%, the teacher cannot do anything.
Right.
Because he can say or she can say, do sit or place your aramandi or maybe abhinaya, whatever it is. If they don't understand, maybe the teacher can repeat.
Right.
But those people who learning, they need to be really committed to that time. Otherwise, it's very hard.
It's very hard.
Because
In person.
in person is easier to maybe we can correct or hold the hand or make them
Right.
sit or we can show them, make them feel that. But online, it is, I think the more effort
From the
need to
student
be
side.
done by the student side than the teacher.
On the student side
Of
and the
course,
teacher
of
side. So we were talking about Bharatanatyam, the dance form, the genre, and all the other dance forms in the Indian classical culture, if you want to call it. One of the things intrigues me about Bharatanatyam is not just body movement or arm movement, there is a lot of that balance, power, and you being a yoga instructor, you both are, you need that power and the balance. But to me, the hardest part is the mind, the emotions that you show in a 5-minute or even a 2-minute dance segment. You're showing everything from love to anger to devotion. How do you get your mind to train to such rapid transitions and be able to, and a person that is doing it in a studio by herself or himself, how do you do it? You can, no mirror, you said, right? You said there's no, so that to me, I can understand the physical movements and exercise and learning about that, but this part is mind-boggling to me as to how do you learn that? Like and that comes from your teacher?
Yeah. I mean,
Obviously?
it
all-
is a technique. There is a technique to it, which is taught to us, But it's also about practicing that technique consistently.
Then the music, the ragam,
Of
and this,
course,
that's
of
played, and you
course.
have it has to sink in your
So,
head.
so many things connect for that. Like, see, when you learn first, if you take yoga, I'll just
Yes.
tell you the
Yes.
example. The asana, pranayama, then it's go like that.
Okay.
Then go samadhi.
Oh yes.
So, physically, first we are learning physical movement,
Yes.
how you do some adavas.
Yeah, with the body.
Then you slowly introduce combination of adavas. Then you
Yes.
slowly introduce to compositions like Alaripu, like Jatiswaram, like pieces, what you do, compositions. So, and after some pieces, you started teaching small emotions into that. How? So, like that they train. But even for when you do body movement, also there is a expression and feelings.
Correct.
So
Exactly. That's the one
it
that.
takes some time to really understand as a student, and very hard for teacher to really infuse that. It take time. You cannot just do it like, okay, I did 1 year, 2 years, no, or maybe 5 years, no. It won't happen sometime. Some students, they born like that. Some students, within a year you can develop. It's all depends on how they
Right.
take, because the understanding about the form and what you're doing, that makes these differences. Because emotions means, why you able to do emotions? So I heard somewhere this, some interview I'm hearing about some acting. So in that one, it's always stuck in my head. Emotions, you can fake it.
Right.
It's just maybe
Right.
you don't take literally, but emotions are where you really feel that moment.
Right.
Maybe with that, sentences, or
Right.
with that musical, or with that, the entire thing comes together. You bring it, but you need to have training for that. How do you want to
Exactly.
do that? Or how do you? We have a lot of training for that. Like you learn, Navarasas, and you learn Ankika Abhinaya, Satvika Abhinaya. All those terms are there. So slowly you make the students to
transition, to
experience
understand
that. And
Good.
even when as a student, I didn't understand the beginning.
Yeah,
All those
yeah.
things. It took some time for me to, and something I was very shy to do. Like Sringaramandal, for me it's so shy. And I don't know how to do that. I feel very
Intimidated
nervous.
almost, yeah, nervous.
Very intimidating, and it's very hard. Then it took some time to get that courage to do. So you need to really spend time with that
Yeah.
process.
It's through
That
spending
must be the
time.
harder part of it too.
Yeah.
Physical movement and the teacher
because
teaching.
emotion again is very subtle,
Very subtle. Exactly.
and
Good
I
point,
think
yeah.
that puts you in a vulnerable position as well.
Correct.
And because it's intangible,
Right.
it's also very difficult to grasp.
And
Right.
so, the terms like, for example, you're getting shy. So each people, shy itself is subjective.
Yeah.
That's true. Good
So
point.
some people shy will be like very different, not looking at the face or something like that.
Right.
But in acting, I'm talking about. But when
Right.
dance comes, there is a, you have a certain nayikas, then the nayikas, how they reactions, everything is already you get some reference to do that.
Right.
Maybe not exactly that you have to do, but there is a reference to do that. With that material, you can create that.
Awesome. So you've been traveling. You've been now traveling in North America for 2 months. I think we talked earlier. You started out in the West Coast, then you went to Texas, Dallas, Chicago, Connecticut, New Jersey, and now you're in Toronto. You also traveled worldwide, everywhere. Lots in Europe. Did you
Yeah.
go back to Oman to perform?
No.
Ever?
No.
Never.
No.
Did you? That's
No.
interesting. Dubai? No, because
Dubai, we've been there, but not
not for
performance.
performing.
Yeah,
Okay,
to
but you have
teach.
not been to Oman to perform.
No.
You would like that opportunity, though.
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, I would like to. I hope it happens.
Oh, I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure it'll happen because there is a huge demand for that. So,
Yeah.
Dubai, almost all the artists that come through here, they're doing something or the other.
Yes,
Europe,
yes.
you've been all over.
Yeah, Europe, yeah, we
Europe,
often
yeah,
go
we
there.
travel.
I know
Yeah.
you went to Holland, to Netherlands to perform.
Yes,
You went to
yes.
Paris,
Yes.
and all of that. In all of this, is there one place in your heart that says, "Man, that was an amazingly awesome place"? Of course, Calgary being number one. There's no question.
Yeah, there are so many places.
Really?
See, so
I think
many
it's
places.
difficult to
not,
say which one.
Not one place, definitely
Yeah,
not. Because,
yeah.
see, I'm traveling since 2001. So my
Ah.
first travel was to Japan. My friend organized that, who studied
Japan,
with me,
ah.
Japan. So, that too with my sir.
With
Oh, yeah.
Chandrasekhar
Okay.
Sir and me and one of my other friend. So it was the first performance, first flight. They knew Japan and all these places. We only heard.
Was there a good turnout? Was there a
It
Yeah.
was a. I still remember each because I never forget anything what I done there
Yeah.
because it was first time. Then there are so many memories like that. So I told you this time also when I came and I met you is because I met you
Yes.
into these all memories
Yes,
like.
yes.
So I think every places are given me a different experience and different people and understanding, and it taught me a lot. Still is I'm learning. It's very interesting to.
But it's you as a couple. There's a lot here I can see. I know we hung out together today as well. What you have between you two, I'm sure it comes out on stage. So this is quite amazing, and I'm really grateful to see. It's just nice to see it more than anything else. But as far as venues, you said there's nothing that really jumps out. Have you performed in Rome, in Italy?
Rome we never
We
been,
haven't
but
been to
Italy,
Rome, but Italy, Milan.
Oh, Milan.
Milan and
Where at the Scala? No.
No, not at the Scala.
That's
I-
my one
we
of
all-
my wish to go to La Scala. But
Imagine Scala. I would take the flight out to see
yeah,
it.
La Scala, my wish. I'm telling my friend, and she's my sister. Like I'm telling her, I want to do La Scala. I want to do
Oh,
La Scala.
man,
She said,
imagine.
it'll
We
happen.
don't
It'll
know,
happen.
let's
We
see.
don't know. But
because we as a couple we have done projects that we've never thought of
yeah,
or
it's-
imagined.
So we,
Things have just come because there was one performance in Turin that we did.
it is a very old theatre, maybe more than
Where?
1,000
Where
years.
is this?
like
This was it's called
Torino,
in-
Carignano.
Oh,
The
it's
theatre
called,
name is
it's
Carignano.
Carignano Theatre
In
Tur-
Torino?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Torino.
That's the outdoor theater. Did you were you at the
no,
outdoor?
No,
it's so it
this
was
is
a
a-
theatre.
Amphitheater.
No, so it's an opera.
Yeah, opera
Ballet,
theater.
yeah.
Only music happens
And
there.
it was a
Only first
music
time
festival. It's called the Mito Festival or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
MITO.
Every year they have a summer festival outside. Yeah,
So,
That was
so in
amazing.
that theater,
That's
they've never
incredible.
presented Bharatanatyam, and they actually, because it's a music festival, they've never presented dance. And
we could do it.
that happened.
God bless we got
Oh
the
my
chance
God,
to
that
do.
is a
And then it's a place where opera and ballet
Yes,
has
yes,
been
yes,
performed,
absolutely.
and they only present that on that stage. So that happened. And so we're like, okay,
Did you do it? Did you perform it?
yeah, we
Oh my
performed.
God,
We performed there in
awesome.
2015.
2015.
Yeah,
Super
with
cool.
live music.
Very nice.
So so
that's,
such
that to me, I'd say
interesting.
that's it. You've done it. That'd be my place. That's like it's an amazing place.
We have a lot of wishes like that.
And then
especially
our-
me.
Especially where?
No, he has a
Oh,
lot
he
of.
did.
like to
He likes to explore in very different ways. And then our we did also some collaborations with certain contemporary artists.
I saw
Also,
that
which
too.
happened
I
like
saw that,
just
yes.
happened by chance. I mean,
yeah, that's all. Lot
And
of
that's
blessings,
taken us to
lot of
different
blessings
places.
and a lot of good people around us who supported us.
Yeah.
And it's all the growth comes not alone. You can earn anything. It is collective. The society and people, friends. So many people are there. What we are sitting and talking to you. So all experience comes through that process.
So now you're heading back to India tomorrow night, in fact, and you want to be home because of the
Vijayadashmi.
Vijayadashmi. That's on Tuesday, right?
Tuesday,
So,
yeah.
and so there you have your school. What will you have there when you go back? Your students are going to perform, or no? Is there a big
our
event?
students are performing now
Oh, they are
because it's
performing.
Navratri, so they
Navratri,
have some
yes.
temple performances. But Vijayadashmi, which we also call as Vidyarambham.
Oh, I see.
It's,
Okay.
it's a very
offering to all
important
teachers.
thing.
So we always follow that Guru Tattvam, like
Right.
the lineage of.
So you need to be there more for blessings than
Yeah,
anything. I see.
yeah.
So
And
there's no
there are also going to be some new people who will join,
awesome.
who will be starting
That is
classes
amazing.
for
So
the
you're
first
making
time.
the effort to go back so you can be with your students
Yes,
essentially.
yes.
That is very amazing. That's cool. That's very nice. So let's talk about tomorrow. So as you came here to Calgary again, I thank you immensely for doing this. There's a show that you're going to perform at the University Theatre, the same place you were at back in almost 20 years ago. Beautiful, beautiful venue actually. It's an amphitheater. You'll like it a lot. So the Bhakti Vashya,
Bhakti Vashya.
that's the name of your Bharatanatyam dance, and you've given me a little bit of synopsis on what this is.
Yes.
Can we just talk about that a little bit as to what the audience are going to see in Bhakti Vashya?
Yeah. So Bhakti Vashya is a repertoire that we had come up with because it was a part of our digital premiere called Avarta, which we had done in July this year. And it was to celebrate 12 years of dancing together. So we thought, okay, let's present that repertoire. And in this particular repertoire, once we begin, then we do not exit the stage.
No.
So the pieces, they are intertwined.
Intertwined.
Yeah.
So there are like 6 segments or 6, and they're all
so
connected.
some are short, some are
Some are
really
longer,
long.
yeah.
And the main piece is this Swarajati of Shyama Shastri, which is a very popular composition in Carnatic music concerts. So that was something that we took up. I mean, it was a piece that we did in 2017, and it's evolved a lot. And also because it's not a composition that's typically set for dance.
Right.
So it was like interesting for us to look at it from the perspective of dance.
No, I saw in the credits that you actually your name is there as the choreographer,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the complete thing is
Yes,
set
yes,
by
yeah.
you, but you
He's
didn't. But you, the how can I say, the song or the raga that are sung in the audio, that's compositions from your other singers, and you didn't have a hand enough obviously. So but you have all these other musicians included there.
Yeah, so these singers, so the music is from this work that we did for the digital premiere.
I see, okay.
So we wanted to work with musicians who do not accompany dance.
Okay.
So that was because we just
okay.
wanted to see how it was to like have Vignesh Ishwar as a student of T.M. Krishna. So he
Right.
came in for vocals.
Right.
Then Sumesh Narayanan also,
Yes.
who was a very good mridangist.
Mridangist, yes.
So he came in, and Shreya Devnath, who's a violinist,
Violinist.
she was there, and so it was nice for us to work
And
with a young
Balakrishnan,
crowd.
He's
And,
an
Oh,
attorney
that's right. I
and
saw that name.
attorney and
Yeah,
musician
so
who
he's
composed
like
music
a
and all.
long-time collaborator.
Very good.
So he's a Carnatic musician, but who's also been doing Nattvangam for many
Nattvangam.
years, and he is
Very
the
scholarly
one.
person.
Yeah. So he has been somebody who's always guided us on the musical side when it comes to dance.
Okay.
Because sometimes
Because
we
these
have
things are very, Swarajadi, all those things are need a lot of help from
from somebody who
musicians
knows
to
also
understand
Carnatic
this.
music.
Okay.
And some other scholars, all those people needed
Sure.
to really build up this.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I look forward to tomorrow evening. Again, 6:30, University Theatre, and it should be a smashing program. And again, thank you very much, and I thank World TV
Thank
YouTube
you,
for giving
thank
us
you.
the chance
Thank
to
you
be
so
here.
much, just believing us and just calling me.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm
I'm glad that
humbly
this happened, and we're very, very happy, and we
Thank
really
you.
look forward to tomorrow.
Me too. Thank you.